Hello there everyone, this is I Am Mark 3 and welcome to the giant stompy robot simulator. I mean, of course, Mechwarrior Online. That seems to have become my standard intro for these videos, so I just spend my weekend videos stomping around in giant robots. Honestly, I don't really mind that situation. Not so much. For today's walk we have got another of the hero mechs brought back from previous episodes because I wasn't happy with how it worked out last time. It ran too hot, it felt too light, and basically it just like didn't feel too good. So we've got a different approach to it this time. But today's walk anyway is the PNT-10K R, or just a standard 10K with a fancy letter strapped onto the end of it. And the chassis is of course a Panther. Okay, let us roll out with a light mech, indeed, and show you what I've done to it. Now you'll notice there's an absence of certain prominent features on the shoulders already, so yes, right. Switch back to expand mode, here we go, right. The primary weapons of this particular configuration are a pair of snub-nose PPCs, so point-blank damage dealing potential there. Admittedly, it cuts down on the maximum range of the PPC weapon system, but there's two of them, they're smaller, they are lighter, and they still hit pretty hard. So this is effectively an energy-based autocannon 20 with slightly less range and more heat. That's basically what it is, because it hits us just as hard, since the mounts are just so close together. Effectively, it's like 20 points of projectile flung energy straight at the opponent's face. Backing this up is the secondary weapon, which is an MRM-10 in the center torso, fed by a mere 1 ton of ammunition, though that does give it 30 salvos. It's just like a scatter weapon, just rock them with explosions, that kind of thing. Just help out a little bit. The entire thing runs on an XL195 engine, and it is kept cool by 4 double heat sinks, 2 in each side torso. And also, for some reason, because I have switched this to the back rather than the front, the mech upgrades, we've got an endosteel chassis, double heat sinks, and standard armor. Admittedly, if you've noticed already, we have got the slots, as in we've got 8 slots spare. We could effectively equip light ferro armor if we want to spend another couple 100,000 on this thing, but it only frees up 0.3 tons. And we also already have maxed out armor except for the left arm. So, yeah, the left arm, which doesn't house anything and is an incredibly thin and small thing, so it doesn't even work too well as a shield. So, yeah, it's an optional extra, you don't really need it, not really. But all said, this thing has excellent burst potential from the PPCs, a bit of standoff dissuasion from the MRM, and its cooling rating is actually not bad either, 1.29 out of 2. It does have to watch its heat a little bit, but it's nothing like as hot as the videos that went out for last weekend's content. Even if they went out on Monday. I love it when my schedule just gets messed up like that. I really do. But anyway, that is this particular Panther, so it is time to go out and see how it does. Yes. Roll on match number 1.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to Polar Highlands. The game mode is Assault. So basically it's going to turn into a rush to see who can kill the other base or who can kill each other. Either or. And honestly, that's one of the fastest matchmaking times I have ever seen. There's of course the fact that light mechs tend to get put into matches really quickly because there aren't enough of them to go around. The game does like to try and balance the teams out at least a little bit. So yeah, I just dropped straight into this one basically. I barely had like a minute between pressing ready and getting straight in. Anyway, let us talk a bit about the Panther. The Panther's structural layout quirk, I suppose you could call it, is that it's actually geared around having some secondary missiles in the center torso, and its primary weaponry is almost always exclusively on the right arm. So that's kind of what the Panther does. And as a result, you get some interesting things. Like, the Panther, if you want it to be a sniper version, you tend to give it either a pair of ERPPCs, which it can cope with, kind of. It just tends to melt itself rather often, or some ER large lasers or things like that, and then you have some light missile secondary weaponry and things like that. So it's kind of what this thing does. I mean, that's why you saw me with a pair of light PPCs in the arm when this thing appeared, like I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. It's just how this particular mech is geared. All the variants have the primary weapons in the right arm, and they have some form of missile weapon in the center torso, including that strange Panther, which actually has ballistic weaponry on its arm rather than energy weapons, making it kind of like a...
Target acquired.
Target spotted.
Let's unlatch my arm a little bit. Oops. No, I didn't want you steam overlay, thank you. The problem is, I generally suck
Target
firing at
destroyed.
long range. Well, he didn't last very long, jeez. I think that was a wolfhound or something. I didn't check while I was shooting at it. I was too busy trying to get a bead on him.
Target
Target
acquired.
spotted.
Okay, we've got something else down there. But since it's all in the arm, you can unlatch it and use it as a sniper. I think... oh, jeez, that's the entire enemy force. Back up, back up. Ow.
Incoming missile.
Right.
Warning, incoming.
I think the other thing I should mention is that I pointed this out right at the start, that there was prominent things missing from this mech's shoulders, but then I didn't mention it during the... I didn't mention it during the actual mech screen. It slipped my mind for a few moments. And that's the fact that to get this weapon payload and this engine on this mech, it's kind of a heavy combination. Really? Oopsie daisy. Bit of a heavy combination. But to do that, I gave up on the AMS capability, because this chassis is one of those rarest of birds which actually has 2 AMS slots on it, so it can carry 2 of the things. So I actually gave up on that. Oh, hello. Yep, hit the Highlander, but it was in the shoulder. Oy. So yeah, I have no anti-missile protection of my own. And that just encourages me to either try and stay out the way, or preferably stay near my team. Which I'm absolutely fine with, that's my playstyle after all. Whoops, I just caught that mad cat in the back. Oh dear, the enemy seems to be pushing the left though. But yeah, with snub noses, this thing is a mid to short range combat unit. Same with the MRMs. So we don't want to be out there trying to snipe. We're not that good at it. If we had ERs, it would be something else.
New target
Excellent.
acquired.
But we don't. We are, however, very good at peeking around corners with our right arm. We just have to be careful, because if we lose the right arm, we lose a lot of stuff. And that didn't help because I missed completely.
New target acquired.
On the bright side though, he's overheated and shut down, so yay! Notice though I'm firing these things very rapidly, and I've only just overheated.
Target destroyed.
So with the reduced heat of the snub noses, this thing is actually quite viable in terms of getting a bunch of damage downrange. Dragon, next time you see a friendly assault shooting, don't place yourself literally in front of said assault. Oh dear. We've got some people who aren't very aware tactically, it seems. Kind of typical that. Are you dead? Yes, you're dead. There's some... Just need to keep punching. Oh, what? He dropped dead just... Oh, and that mech fell over. Okay. But yeah, we're more of a light support mech. We want to stay near the heavier armour and the AMS protection of our allies. But that's kind of what we're geared towards.
Target destroyed.
And we're already won. That was not bad. That was actually pretty darn fast. And I think I was babbling insanely for most of it as well, which is even better. Oh yes. We just need the end screen to see how well we did. 5 assists, 118 damage, which is reasonable. 164k. So we only hit 5 of the enemy mechs during that because, well, admittedly this mech's weapons are not the fastest cycling, so you're not going to be getting massive numbers of assists. You'd want something like a large laser to do something like that. But we were helping, and that's -4 points for when we accidentally hit our ally in the back with missiles. All I can say to that is whoopsie. But we managed to do quite a bit. So yes, roll on match number 2.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Command, coming in. Escort and protect the VIP mech all the way to the evac zone.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to match number 2. We have escort mode. Playing as a defender, we've got multiple king crabs, which is actually a pretty rare sight. I am mildly surprised at this one, actually. We've got a treble 0B and a pure white treble 0. No, quad 0. Wow. I am honestly quite surprised by that. As I said, it's not exactly common. You usually see a lot of other mechs rather than the slow waddling king crab. Don't get me wrong though, I absolutely love the king crab. That's why I've got the entire set of those things. But anyway, moving on. Let us begin.
Target spotted.
This is match number 2, of course, and I am very happy with how the last match went. So, this match I'm going to share my conclusions, my thoughts about this particular mech configuration, and I am happy to say I'm going to be keeping it, because
Target
I am
acquired.
definitely happy with how well it sustains itself in battle. Admittedly, it gets pummeled if the entire enemy team shoots at it, but I can't hold that against it. I mean,
Target spotted.
that's true of every mech, and it's my own darn fault I walked out in front of the entire enemy team and lost half my armour. So, yeah, there we go.
3 AFKs, that has to be some kind of record.
Wait, what? We've really got 3 AFKs?
And one's moving now. Other 2 aren't.
Aw.
Mech and a Warhammer.
Yeah.
I have video evidence of that now. Oh well.
So far, so good.
Still 3. I've never seen that before. Well, shame. Actually,
Warhammer woke up. Hello, buddy. Welcome.
you might want to change settings on that alarm clock, mate. You're a little bit late to the party. Oh, okay, right. We've got people. Also, by the way, my face is currently red with embarrassment.
Yeah,
I said-
you can cut off the VIP guys.
New
Back a
target
little.
acquired.
I said, yeah, seriously. I mentioned this like fairly recently that I didn't really like speaking out like that. Ooh, MRM straight in the face. Hey, we've got a fellow Panther in here as well, actually. Cool.
Yep, they're headed for the VIP.
But yeah, I was really embarrassed just from speaking that much, so, you know, not great.
The VIP mech is under attack.
There was also something else that wandered around this way. Is it dead? No, it doesn't seem to be.
New target acquired.
But yeah, the enemy seems to be just trying to push quite a bit. Not doing a very good job of it. Also, that missed completely.
New target acquired.
Anyway, yep, just forcing that guy into retreat a little bit. I'm getting better at judging where to fire the PPCs, though. There is that.
Stick
Right,
with
yeah.
the VIP guys. It's still moving.
I found that very embarrassing. Eesh. I mean, seriously, it was. My cheeks were red. I could feel the flush of heat on my face. I don't like drawing attention to myself or feeling like I'm the centre of attention at all. Not at all. That's just the way I am, basically. I'm a very. I love my rock, basically.
Target spotted.
Oops. I'll just mind the. No, that's not an. I almost said an annihilator. No, that's Razorback. No. Wait, no, it's not. It's Roughneck. That's the one. At least we're keeping them over that hill and far
New
away.
target acquired.
But yeah, I think I've struck a very happy balance with this mech. The snub noses are still very dangerous. It's just that they don't melt the mech like a double ER PPC would. Though admittedly that means I can't snipe with them. Hello.
Yeah, we got him.
So I can keep firing these things quite a lot.
New target.
Hello, Thanatos.
acquired.
Whoa! Ow! That king crab just walked straight past without realising. He's got PPCs as well, but because I'm such a small target, he backed up and... Oh, he wants me.
Incoming.
However, I just took off his side torso with my PPCs. Oh, Snubnose for the win. I can just get up close and keep firing.
Warning, incoming missile.
Ow. Nope, nope, nope.
Warning, incoming missile. Warning, incoming
That Thanatos is
missile.
almost dead.
Warning, incoming missile.
If you see a Thanatos, he's almost dead. Oh, never mind. Someone got him. Good kill, guys. Oh, even that much made me feel embarrassed. God damn it. But yeah, the MRMs are maybe the weak point of this design. But I've noticed that with mechs like this, you want to try and balance yourself rather than go all out on one big weapon system.
Acquired.
It seems better that way. Though admittedly I don't have much to deal with light targets. I just don't have any fast-firing, short-range, low-heat weaponry to try and deal with it. Not really. So, yeah, the PPCs are almost useless against something like a light like that.
Forces, the VIP has
Good
reached the
game.
evacuation point.
Good game, everyone. Still, yeah, I was trying to say, until I got distracted, as I always do, I was liking that mech. Again, 5 assists, though I also got an additional kill. 242 damage dealt, so I was really laying into them. But this particular weapon loadout is actually better suited, I must admit, to bigger targets. You want something that you can more reliably hit, rather than you're going to miss. Like, I was trying to hit that commando with my PPCs, and I was missing all over the darn place. But when I came up against a bigger, scarier target in the form of that Thanatos, I was just able to unload straight into him, and he was struggling to hit me back. So that's where this mech kind of excels, really. It's got slower, heavier hitting weapons, so it's better against bigger targets than smaller, nippy ones. So don't rely on this thing in an anti-light role. It might be effective against mediums, but really it wants to be targeting heavy and above. Mediums it can still reliably chase around, but yeah. I like you, little guy. You're a giant hunter, aren't you? Admittedly, you can't snipe. Your weapons are too short range, but you are a giant hunter. That's kind of how you've been geared out to operate. And I couldn't be happier with that. It's like, ooh, big scary mech. Have PPCs in the face. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, this has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show and the look at this this rather nasty little kitty cat, this little panther. And I'll catch you all some other time. See you all later.